Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a little money in the bank. With your every yearly annual ladder match, of course, where one male and one female will get the chance to climb that ladder, get that briefcase, and cash in anytime they see fit. They could be the next champion. Who knows? Well, I can tell you this year at least, we're hoping at least for a better run than this year. The last couple Money in the Bank winners were not very good, at least on the men's side of things. Because, like, last year you had Braun Strowman, and then they completely fucked him up. And then before that, the year before that, you had Baron Corbin, who was just, oh man, they dropped the ball hard with that. And the same thing, honestly, for the women as well. Because last year you wasted it with Alexa Bliss. And the year before, well, don't even get me started on the year before. Yeah, that was a horrible shit show, but I'm Coffee Lover 239, and with me once again, as always, is Heedy. Say hi, Heedy.
Yes.
And we are guest for this podcast. We have Matt Total. Say hi, Matt.
Yo.
Alright, without further ado, let's get into the card. Our first match on the card is Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans for the Raw Women's Championship. So at WrestleMania 35, Becky Lynch defeated both Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair in a winner-takes-all triple threat match to win both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. She was then double booked to defend both championships at Money in the Bank. For the Raw Women's Championship, NXT call-up Lacey Evans attacked the double champion on both Raw and SmackDown following WrestleMania. Evans was subsequently drafted to Raw during the Superstar Shakeup and defeated Natalya, and well, here we are. So Lacey Evans is a bit still new, hasn't done too much crazy stuff. Only maybe a couple matches or so. Of course, the qualifying match to beat Natalya to ultimately get to this match, and be the first problem that Becky 2 Belt will have to deal with tonight. Or not tonight, but on Sunday. Heathie, who do you think's gonna win?
Well, I think the winner of this match will depend on where this match is on the card. So hear me out. I think first of all that these two women's title matches, first with Lacey and Becky and Charlotte and Becky, I think they'll be back to back. I think Lacey is too green for a title match. She's too much of a rookie to be a convincing threat. She's punched Becky in the mouth a few times. I mean, any woman on a roster can realistically do that and knock down Lynch. If Evans is to win, this match will go on second. Down to the fact that Charlotte's going to wear her down and Becky's going to eke out a victory, only for Lacey Evans to run down, almost like a bit of a cash-in, preying on the weak, getting a cheap victory. I see Becky walking out with 2 titles is because even with the additional for the women's tag team division, with the plethora of the women's roster in NXT as well as the main roster, if you only have one women's singles champion, it's just going to shoehorn the whole division to the fact where certain people like Sasha Banks and Bayley, like you've already seen it with them before, that they're going to be left out to, just to freeze out in the cold. Whereas there's so many main event caliber women's wrestlers that are going to be left out if there's only one champion. I think they need 2 divisions, one for each title. I'd rather have Charlotte and Becky be champions. I think they're not going to let Charlotte get her 9th title so easily, and I think Lacey Evans somehow is going to pick up the victory over Becky Lynch, probably after Becky just barely gets past Charlotte.
Interesting. And Matt, who do you think's gonna win?
It's kind of simple on this one. Becky Lynch is gonna win because, well, it's her first title offense since Mania, and well, as Heafy said, Lacey Evans is too green. She hasn't even had a match on the main roster yet so far, if I'm clear on that one. And well, her modern gimmick is just walking out and in and out all the time. So, and then attacking Becky Lynch out of nowhere. But just, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not really into this match, but well, at the same time, whatever. I think Becky Lynch is gonna win. It's well, kind of straightforward on this one.
Yeah, I see what you mean. As for me personally, I'm not sure Becky will be walking away with both belts on the same night unless she somehow does, and whoever wins the Money in the Bank women's match, if it happens earlier before one of the matches or whatever, I don't know. It's a little crazy, but yeah, I'm just thinking of some stuff. But as for me, well, I think if Becky had to retain one belt, well, didn't they draft her to Raw? Yeah, it's confusing a little bit with everything going on and all that wild card garbage and the way everything is. But if Becky had to retain one belt, I'd say the Raw belt. So I'll say she'll win here for now. Our next match is Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the WWE Universal Championship. So, let me see if I can find the information. Where is it? It's got to be in here somewhere. Oh, here it is, yeah. On the April 22nd episode of Raw, Chief Operating Officer Triple H scheduled 2 triple threat matches with the winners to face each other to determine Seth Rollins' challenger for the Universal Championship. New Raw draftee AJ Styles defeated fellow draftees Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe in the first triple threat match, while Baron Corbin defeated Drew McIntyre and new draftee The Miz in the second. And it had to be Baron Corbin because the pull of Baron Corbin's mid-card vortex is just too damn strong! Sorry, I just had to get that out of my system. Anyway, thankfully Styles beat Corbin to earn a Universal Championship match against Rollins at Money in the Bank, and here we are. So this should actually be a pretty good match. Both men are pretty good workers, and they're both capable of putting on amazing matches. I have to say, I'm definitely looking forward to this match quite a lot, actually. And it should be very entertaining. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
No doubt, I think this has the potential to be, if not, it's probably shoehorned in as the match of the night. You can put that down. You can bet that with your friends. This will probably be the match of the night. Throughout the feud, you've seen Styles acting a bit heelish. Maybe heel turns what he needs for his character to really take off. I don't see him winning the Universal title this early. Here's why. I think Rollins, apart from Roman Reigns, he's the first, real full-time competitor to take down Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar hasn't shown up since. Let's hope to God he doesn't show up.
I won't get too ahead of that because of the whole Saudi show thing they're advertising, but continue.
Yeah, so I'm just going to hold out hope and say that in the reality where Brock Lesnar is running off to the UFC, we'll just be titled together. Yeah, I think because of that, when Lynch was supposed to be booked, he was supposed to hold on to the title until Mania. Unfortunately, he took that out of WWE's hands. So, Rollins does need to become title reign if he wants to be cemented as the top guy. And if they have Rollins beat Lesnar, and then the next pay-per-view, when you go back and lose AJ Styles, it kind of diminishes the value of that huge win at Mania against Beast. So, for that reason, I'm going with Seth Rollins to win.
I see, Seth Rollins. I had to clarify a little because your mic's acting up a little funky, Heavey. I don't know what's going on with that. But we'll handle it when we get through this bit. And Matt, who do you think's going to win?
Well, it's a fast defense, so I don't see him losing the title anytime soon. And that's why I'm going with Seth Rollins. But Heath said that AJ Styles is acting heelish, and I can agree with that. And well, I think sooner rather than later we're going to see the Bullet Club, a type of that form in WWE, because Gallows and Anderson are on Raw, if I'm correct, and AJ Styles. So the three-man band, I don't know, just wrecking havoc on Raw. But well, AJ Styles just came to Raw, and well, I don't see him winning a world title anytime soon. So well, that's why I'm going with Seth Rollins.
Interesting. And I wouldn't get so ahead of Gallows and Anderson showing up or reforming the club so soon. I mean, hell, like, they were barely on SmackDown when they were used. What makes you think they're really going to be used that much better on Raw? Like, I just don't see them being that used. And yeah, as for who I think's going to win this match, I definitely think Seth Rollins is going to win. Like, it may be a bit too early for AJ to hold the belt. And I have a feeling WWE, they can do what they do best and drag shit on. Because they may throw down the no automatic rematch shit, but they'll still find loopholes and say, fuck it, we'll only use it when it's convenient. So there might be still a few more matches between these two, but hey, maybe it'll be like AJ versus Joe, where we had a pretty decent series of matches compared to AJ versus Nakamura, when most of the matches felt a little underwhelming, and the finishes of some of them were downright terrible. So yeah, for this match, I'm going to say Seth Rollins. Our next match is our men's Money in the Bank ladder match, with Sami Zayn versus Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin versus Mustafa Ali versus Finn Balor versus Andrade Cien versus Randy Orton. Woo! 8 men, 1 match, and you know, I'm kind of a little disappointed with this field, but let me give you guys background. So during the A Moment of Bliss on the April 29th episode of Raw, Alexa Bliss revealed the 4th participant for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Braun Strowman, oh come on, but he won it last year. New draftee Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, and that son of a bitch, Baron Corbin. I already did that mid-card of evil joke, or mid-card vortex joke. I don't need to do it again. And on SmackDown the next night, the SmackDown's 4 participants were revealed. Mustafa Ali, new draftee Finn Balor, Andrade Cien and Randy Orton. And on the following week, Robert Roode, formerly Bobby Roode, had the chance to replace Ricochet in the ladder match if he could defeat Ricochet, but he failed. Meanwhile, Sami Zayn then defeated Strowman in a Falls Count Anywhere match after interference from the mid-card of Evil, taking Strowman's spot. You know, I'm disappointed, like I said. I'm very disappointed, quite frankly, with the lineup. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some good people in this match, like Ricochet and Drew McIntyre and Ali and Andrade and Balor. But, like, a few of the participants here, like, if you looked at the leaked participants page here, you can actually see, like, originally the arena was advertising a very different field of participants. I mean, we had Drew McIntyre, we had Ricochet, we had Andrade, but instead of Randy Orton, formerly Braun Strowman / Sami Zayn, and who else? Baron and Randy Orton, instead we could have had Cesaro, Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, who's stuck in promo hell, and Lars Sullivan. Well, actually, Lars Sullivan, you could take him or leave him. But the other 3, would have been much better. That said, I mean, we all know the Money in the Bank matches can still be pretty good and all. Because I do feel a little disappointed with some of the participants. Like I said, Baron, because and Randy Orton, because I feel he really doesn't need it all that much. And yeah, I really don't have much else to go off for. At least we got Braun out and someone else, so I guess it kind of helps, but it still hurts that he had to lose thanks to the mid-card of Evil. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
Just with reference to the leaks, it's either just a placeholder, as many arenas do when they're advertising a WWE show pretty early on to advertising, or it's just, you know, WWE. It's always card subject to change, and you know how they like to change things just for the hell of it sometimes. But yeah, like you said, the elimination of Strowman does make up for a better field. I think it makes it more unpredictable, since we all know that Strowman was never going to win anyway. He won it last year. And then they just made him absolutely screw up the whole situation.
Courtesy of the Beast.
Yeah, and as well as that, the year before too, Baron Corbin, he won it. They screwed that up. Although I know I personally didn't want him to become champion at the time, but at that time I just wanted to see a Money in the Bank winner actually win a title. But yeah, they need to make a winner a big star. They need to have a big payoff. It doesn't matter who, but I think WWE realise it themselves. They need to make the winner actually mean something and have the cash in actually be successful. Otherwise, the Money in the Bank match is going to be a dud in itself because, oh wow, only what 50% of people. It will get to a point where only 50% of people who cash in win. So it's like, yeah, it's literally playing Russian roulette with your career at that point. But as far as winners go, I mean, I was initially considering maybe Ali or hell, maybe even Sami Zayn after he entered. But I can only see two people: Andrade and Drew McIntyre. I've read a few news outlets and the sources saying that Andrade to win to build up a Latino fan base and the fact that he's really progressed with his speaking of the English language and how we can cut consistently good promos if they let him run with it.
I want to
And
talk
there's also
about
Drew
you. I want to actually mention about that whole English thing, by the way. Just a moment, man, here. Because I remember last night I was watching, like, SmackDown, and we were going through some of the stuff that Vince said, and I literally read that, cut better English, learned English to get a push. And that kind of pissed me off, because it's like, he has a mouthpiece, for him, because he has a manager. It's like, why even have a manager then at that point if he's just... I'm sorry, I just had to mention that. Continue.
some of Vince's decisions are a bit confusing to say the least, and baffling at the most. But yeah, so one of my two favourites to win is Andrade, although he pales in comparison to my actual favourite, which is Drew McIntyre. I think he has much leg room for a good payoff. He has looked like an absolute killer ever since defeating Kurt Angle and just been going on set. Even though he's been part of the mid-card of Evil, three-man stable, it's a pick and mix with Ziggler, Lashley, Strowman, Corbin. He's still performed well. He turns bad situations into good situations, and that's of credit to Drew McIntyre, not the Vine team itself. I can see realistically having a briefcase. I don't think Andrade needs a briefcase. I think he needs a good one with a mid-card title, like a really good run. I don't think he's ready for the main event scene, mainly because there's so many other people who are quite deserving. You think of Ali, you think of Owens, who's in the title scene right now. Daniel Bryan, I think he's just remaining around there. And so you have to look to Raw, which is what it was a dark match last Monday, and it was Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin for the Universal title. I mean, they say they do dark matches of title matches that are pretty new to gauge the reaction of audiences. So for love of everyone's sanity, I hope that Corbin's getting set up as the person to go into a feud with around SmackDown. So I think if we're doing a credible plan, have a decent feud going forward in the next few months, I think you have to have McIntyre win. That's not going for.
Oh boy, your mic's starting to get a little crazy there, man, again. But did you say Drew McIntyre to win?
Yeah, I think he's the most credible person to win.
Alright, yeah, there we go. I just need to get confirmation because the mic's starting to go crazy again. Which is funny because it was normal before. Alright, Matt, who do you think's gonna win?
Well, there was rumors going around, like last year around Royal Rumble time that Drew McIntyre would get the push and win the Royal Rumble. And, well, I think he's going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase because fucking hell. Because, well, I think he's very good. And, well, he's been defeating Kurt Angle, as Heafy mentioned. And, well, winning the tag team titles a few times with Dolph Ziggler. Well, helped his career. And, well, winning the IC title before leaving WWE to go to the Indies also, well, helped him. So, well, yeah, he's a good in-ring worker, and, well, I think he's going to get that push someday. And, well, I think that push is going to be put down and lay the grounds for, or, well, happened at Money in the Bank on Sunday, so well, I think he's going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Interesting. As for me, I'll keep this one short and sweet. I hope that Drew McIntyre wins the Money in the Bank briefcase and breaks free from the fucking shackles of Baron Corbin's mid-card vortex and kicks him into his own vortex. Him and Bobby Lashley. Ugh. Just break free from that vortex, win the briefcase, make a big cash-in moment, actually win the title. Yeah, I think Drew McIntyre definitely needs to win here. It's the only way I feel he's going to shatter the shackles of, well, you know. Our next match is the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We've got Natalya versus Dana Brooke versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss. Oh, come on! She was in it last year, and she won in great dominating fashion. Why are you doing this again to me? Versus Bayley, versus Mandy Rose, versus Ember Moon, versus Carmella, the most controversial Women's Money in the Bank winner ever. I'm not even going to say why. You should know that by now. Anyway, so the 4 participants from Raw in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match were also revealed by Alexa Bliss during another moment of bliss on the April 29th episode of Raw. Natalya, Dana Brooke, new draftee Naomi, and Bliss herself. SmackDown's 4 participants were revealed on the following night's episode of SmackDown, of course. Well, Bayley, Mandy Rose, new draftee Ember Moon, and Carmella. Actually, the leaked picks for the Money in the Bank original card, or what they were advertising at the time, had a little bit of a different field for the women's match. It's not too different from the final field. The only difference is from the original picture that we saw was it had Tamina, Sasha Banks, and Sonya Deville instead. Honestly, I could do without Tamina. Sasha Banks has her own troubles, unfortunately, with the company at the moment. Not exactly on the best of terms, so I kind of had a feeling that wasn't going to happen. And Sonya Deville, well, it really could have been either her or Mandy Rose, but otherwise, it's not too much different. And I really don't...
Shit.
The only other problem I don't have, like, the only real problem with this field, I guess, is, like, again, 2 repeat winners that we've already had, Carmella and, more annoyingly, Alexa Bliss, to be honest. Between the two, I'm more annoyed with Bliss.
I need a massive shit.
Oh, dear. Well, who do you think's gonna win, Heavey?
I'm just going to address the elephant in the room, the red herring, if you will. There was a segment on Raw last Monday where Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross were liaisoning about the match, about petty stuff like luggage. The WWE wants to plant a seed in our head that Nikki Cross are going to be involved in some sort of collusion. I'm pretty sure Nikki is in the match.
She's not in the match.
Nikki's not. Yeah, but I think there could be. They're implying that there's going to be some sort of interference. I don't see it happening, and even if it does happen, I don't think it's going to lead to Alexa Bliss winning. I think it may end up to them feuding.
Oh.
So I think Carmella's crossed off because she won it last year, and there's no point in her winning it again.
Yeah, she cashed in successfully at least, so yeah, give them that.
While I don't think she's going to win, she is going to be a standout competitor. I think there's going to be an eclipse from the top of the ladder, which will be absolutely amazing to see. Blonde Preferential says Mandy, is one of the favourites to win in Vince's eyes. But narrative recently that Sonya Deville has been putting herself in harm's way to help Mandy and herself win matches on SmackDown. I think Money in the Bank will be the final nail in the coffin, or the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will, and Sonya will turn on Mandy, or I think it'll be like a CM Punk Paul Heyman situation, whereas Sonya Deville just isn't that fat. I do think that Sonya will be turning heel on Mandy, and that will set up a good undercard women's feud. I think it's going to win. at the moment. He obviously and clearly values her being the 2018 Women's Battle Royal winner. I think they need to do something with her, otherwise she will stagnate and fade out. Naomi is going to be the winner of this match.
Interesting pick. And Matt, who do you think's gonna win?
Well, everyone is in this match has been unutilized in some kind of fashion, except for, well, Alexa Bliss and, well, I can say Natalia in some sort. But, well, Dana Brooke doesn't really... Well, she doesn't even... I don't know what to say, to be honest. I don't think she needs to be in this match because, well, she's not the main event player or, well, a mid-card in the women's division. A mid-card player or... I think she's in the undercard, like a jobber or something. So, well, she's kind of... I don't know, to be honest. I don't think she deserves to be in this match. Well, there were rumors going around that Mandy Rose would win the SmackDown Women's title for some odd reason. And, well, giving her a push. Well, she's kind of green in the ring. Her and Sonya Deville are kind of good in the ring, but still, she's the, well, was in the tag team. So, well, I don't think she's picking up the victory. Ember Moon, on the other hand, was impressive in the last year's, well, match. She has been impressive so far on the main roster, but unutilized. She should be Raw Women's Champion, to be honest. Becky Lynch is amazing, but I don't see her as a double champion, if I can say it like that. I would probably pick someone like Ember Moon, Natalia, Bayley over Becky Lynch to be Raw Women's Champion or SmackDown Women's Champion. But I think out of all these competitors in the match, I think Ember Moon is the most, well, qualified to, well, have the Money in the Bank briefcase and, well, successfully cash it in.
Interesting. You know, looking at the field, it's kind of a little hard to determine who's gonna win, kind of like last year at least. And if I had to pick one, I think I'd go with Ember Moon as well, to be honest. I feel she needs a good push as well. I mean, I wasn't too big on her, like, when she won the NXT Women's Championship at first, when I saw that live, that TakeOver War Games back in 2017. But it did grow on me, actually, and I kind of think she's one of the more underrated females, like, on the roster. And so, I'll go ahead and pick Ember Moon. Our next match is Roman Reigns versus Elias in a plain old singles match. Hey, it's better than having Roman so far already back in the picture, you know? Because after he came back, we have to build him back up slowly, you know? Okay, let me just find the information about this. Here it is. On the April 16th episode of SmackDown, Vincent Kennedy McMahon introduced Elias as the biggest acquisition in SmackDown history, but both were then interrupted by fellow new draftee and the true biggest acquisition in SmackDown history, Roman Reigns, who attacked Elias and performed a Superman punch on Mr. McMahon. Oh, it's funny because, well, Vince would want to push Roman so much you think that he would be aligned, but I digress. Anyways, the following week, Shane McMahon challenged Reigns to a fight for attacking his father. Reigns came out and was attacked from behind by Elias, who assisted Shane in beating up Reigns. Elias then challenged Reigns to a match at Money in the Bank, and Reigns accepted. So yeah, like I said, not a lot going into this one here, and this is definitely a filler one, but like I said, they're obviously building Roman back up, like, slowly but surely to get back into, like, the picture here. You don't want to rush him out too soon, and this is at least a simple enough feud, at least here. That's a good stepping stone, and we'll probably see some other feuds like this for a while before he goes back into the title picture. Whoever knows when that's gonna be. Heaty, who do you think's gonna win?
I don't think this feud is dead in the water, but it's certainly not far from that. I don't think there's been much to really build upon. I mean, I think last week Roman Reigns called Elias a wedding singer. That is an absolute grade A, and so that should be deserved for a main event of WrestleMania. But you know what? Money in the Bank. I think Roman also said that Elias hasn't done anything noteworthy here in WWE. It's not necessarily burying him with that line. It's just he's really undermining Elias. It really takes the value of this match away just a tiny bit. Like you said, it's a filler match. It's like I said, it's not dead and arrival, but it's pretty obvious it's going to win. Elias can't win at this point. I mean, nothing spectacular is really going to happen in this match. If you can remember last year at Money in the Bank, I think it was Roman who defeated Jinder Mahal.
Mm-hmm.
Follow a similar path. I mean, they're both mid card heels, upper mid card if you're at a stretch. So yeah. I think if Shane weren't preoccupied with The Miz, or if the match went out earlier, if Shane was in post-match medical care, then I think this would have gone a different way. But I think the matches are going to be cut away from each other, and it's going to be 2-on-1 matches with no interference. I think Roman Reigns is just going to get a cut and dry victory here.
I see. And Matt, who do you think's going to win?
As you said in the beginning, this is just a filler match for the card. Will push up the length of the card to 3 hours, or 4 hours to even. But I think, to be honest, that Roman Reigns is going to win because he's, as you said, one of the biggest acquisitions in SmackDown history. And it's just Roman Reigns. So Vince McMahon is going to put this. So Roman is his golden boy. So Roman is picking up the victory.
I see. Yes, for me personally, I'm going with Roman. Roman may not be on Raw anymore, but we know that Raw still stands for Roman always wins if WWE stands for Walk with Elias. It's a damn shame too, because Elias definitely has the charisma to be a top star, and yet, look at him here. The big dog is about to, put down Elias. Metaphorically speaking, of course. So yeah, Roman to win. Our next match. Haven't we seen this match enough times already? I certainly have. And it's like these two are just they just can't be separated. Can we just have one pay-per-view match between with Becky Lynch and a women's scene without Charlotte Flair? Just please, just one to break up the monotony. It's not like these two have been conjoined in every other almost damn feud at this point. Yes, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte for SmackDown Women's Championship. Yeah. Okay, looking back to the whole thing feud here. Okay, yeah, you can insert the whole WrestleMania 35 defeating her again for a championship. Yeah. Okay, so for SmackDown, former champion Charlotte Flair took offense that she lost her title despite not being the one who was pinned at WrestleMania. Really, sweetie? It was a winner-take-all match. You knew what you were getting into, and you knew there was a chance that you didn't have to be pinned to lose that title. And so Lynch exclaimed that she would not give Flair a rematch and demand new challengers. Among the named challengers was new SmackDown draftee Bayley. But then Flair mopped the floor with Bayley, and look at this. I kind of wish we had Bayley versus friggin' Becky here instead. Honestly, they had a bit of a match on SmackDown and in the coming build-up to this, and it wasn't actually too bad of a match. It would have been fresh on the pay-per-view card and a little change-up, but no, because we just can't get enough of these two together. here it is again. Oh, just stop. It's too much. You're milking the cow so much. There's barely any milk left to milk from it. You've almost milked the damn thing dry. What is wrong with you, E? Who do you think's gonna win? Heathy. Oh boy. It seems like he may have faded for a little moment. Oh yeah, I've gotta take a shit here. So, Matt, who do you think's gonna win? We'll go to you.
To be honest, I think this feud has been tried out. Same, kind of like they did with Nakamura versus Styles in 2019. They tried it out so much that the match just became boring.
But here, it's like way worse.
Yeah, it is. They have, as you said, they have, milked the cow a lot, so it's fucking dry. And trying out a feud for this long, for, what is it, almost 2 years?
Just about.
Just making them face each other. This is just John Cena versus Randy Orton 2.0 at this point.
Oh, that's putting it lightly. Like, I think this is also even worse than that.
Oh.
But it's just the feeling, you know? It's just the feeling for me personally. Continue.
Yeah, but they haven't matched up so many times in, these last 2 years. It's became fucking annoying. Just them facing each other all the fucking time. Repetitive after repetitive after repetitive. Just repeating the same process and the same cycle all the time. But with different people just thrown in, and different reasons for that feuding is just a small thing to make the feud go on for longer. I don't know, to be honest, who. I think Ronda is going to make a return tonight.
Oh, you mean on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean on Sunday.
Yeah, I made the same mistake before. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, attacking Flair or Lynch, the winner, causing a DQ in the match. I think it's going to be a DQ for the finish because of Ronda interfering.
Oh, interesting. A DQ finish. I don't know about that, though, man. I mean, Ronda may still be on her impregnation vacation. Yeah. But I don't know. Like, I don't know about that. It would be something, but it's like, are we really going to go back to those three women so soon after Mania? I genuinely just, I don't know. Are you back, Heathy? Oh boy, still not back. Well, I might as well go over who I think's gonna win. Again, I don't know really looking at it. I feel like we could have just saved ourselves the misery and the pain if we just didn't have these two fight at every chance we got. But I don't know at this point. It's like, I know Becky, it's like she has to lose one of the titles, but it's like she's drafted to Raw, but like at the same time, it's just, this is what happens. This was, I don't know the idea now, if it was such a good idea just to do this. Yeah, if we look at female, yeah, Becky Lynch is actually, yeah, she's credited for Raw, and yet she's the SmackDown Women's Champion, so I feel like she needs to lose this one. That's what I feel like. I feel like she's probably going to have to lose this title, unfortunately, and it's gonna hurt me to say this, but I think Charlotte's probably going to win, unfortunately. Yeah, she can gloat about all she wants, how I beat the man and I made Becky 2-belt, no longer 2-belt and shit. Only to have someone like whoever wins Money in the Bank, if it's one of the SmackDown stars for Money in the Bank. Ember Moon is on SmackDown, right? Yeah. So, like, if my prediction, or should I say if me and Matt's prediction for Ember Moon turns out to be true for winning, and, like, Ember Moon's the one who knocks the wind out of Charlotte by cashing in successfully, actually, that wouldn't be too bad. So, it'll probably be better in the long run, but unfortunately, I think Becky Lynch is going to lose here, and Charlotte Flair will regain the SmackDown Women's Championship. I mean, they're trying to tie her, catch up to her fathers in both title reigns and marriages, so I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them. Heathy, are you back? Oh boy, we're still waiting. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to temporarily cut it off here, and when he comes back, then we'll record his bit, and then we'll go to the next match. Okay, now he's finally back after his bathroom break. Heathy, who do you think's going to win for Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair?
This is one of the matches where you think if Becky's going to lose the title, it's going to be this match. It's going to be Charlotte who picks up the SmackDown Women's title. Keep thinking back. I mean, you think that Charlotte is going to be the one to take a title if any title is lost on Becky's behalf. But you got to think, this will be Charlotte Flair's 9th women's title. I don't know how many years she is into her main roster career. Maybe 4, maybe 5, 3 to 5 years. Maybe I'm not really too sure on the statistics, but that is a lot for her time there. I think John Cena was on his 4th or 5th in his first 5 years, maybe.
I don't remember.
I know, but yeah, it's certainly not as much as Charlotte has. The chasing game, like Charlotte is trying to chase her dad, follow in her dad's footsteps, and get to that 16. I don't think that Charlotte's going to win the title. I think she's going to take Becky to the absolute limit, of course. But I think that Becky is going to pull out the win, mainly because that this match will be on first. Absolute limit. She will lose, pinfall, submission, count out, doesn't matter. Then Lacey's going to come out right after, and the match is going to happen straight after. And there'll be like a buzzard just tearing away the unconscious carcass of Becky Lynch picking up that woman's title. Charlotte needs to wait for another title. It will get to the point of becoming overkill if she's a constant champion. It will become. It's starting to get to the point of John Cena and Roman Reigns levels. I know the ability and the talent is there. I know, but saturation. There's so many other women who deserve it. Nikki Cross, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Ember Moon, even Dana Brooke to some extent, Naomi, Natalya, and most of them are in the Women's Money in the Bank match. So I think that they need to cool the jets on Charlotte a bit. Becky do her thing with the Raw title. Whatever happens to the SmackDown title, let Becky do her thing with the SmackDown title. Whatever happens to the Raw title, it happens. But I think Becky needs to remain with that SmackDown title, so I think Becky Lynch is going to beat Charlotte Flair.
Interesting. Anyways, there we go. I already did my thing while you were away, me and Matt, but thankfully, through the power of editing, we can put everything at least together, at least like this still, when it's just us three, or us two and a guest. But anyways, let's just go on to the next match. Our next match is The Miz versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage match. Ooh, yeah, you know the Scott Hall gif. That's what I'm trying to go for here. But anyways, so at WrestleMania 35, Shane McMahon defeated The Miz in a Falls Count Anywhere match by accident during the match. I mean, not really by accident, but that's what I would like to play off of. And during the match, Shane attacked Miz's father, George Mizanin. Miz was then drafted to Raw during the Superstars shakeup and attacked Shane as a retribution. And on the April 29th episode of Raw, during Miz's match against Bobby Lashley, Shane distracted Miz, causing him to lose, leading to a brawl. Later, Miz challenged Shane to a steel cage match at Money in the Bank, and Shane accepted. So they've already had a Falls Count Anywhere match here, but now we're going to up the ante and trap them both in a steel cage. Clearly, they've still got some mileage in this storyline. There's still animosity between the two, especially after WrestleMania when Shane attacked Miz's dad. So definitely they can still keep it going, at least for here now. Heaty, who do you think's going to win?
I'm trying to come up with some expert analysis on this, but I think it's just pretty straightforward here. I mean, Miz needs to win back. I think this has to be the end of the feud, strictly because they're on different brands now. If I'm not mistaken, Miz is on Raw, Shane's on SmackDown, and Shane and Elias and Roman, they're going to be doing their own thing. Don't know what Miz will do, but if they run the risk of having another pay-per-view match, the feud will get real stale real quick. I think it's going to plateau right now. So I'm not a fan of 50-50 booking, but Miz cannot lose to Shane McMahon twice in a row. I know Shane loses his matches a lot. I think this is the first match since his return that he's fully won a single match on pay-per-view. And even then it was a bit of a fluke. But I feel like that I just feel that Miz needs to move on. He needs to go on to something that befits him better. I know he turned face for the purposes of this feud, but Miz is such a great competitor that he can just mold into another face role that will befit him of his next feud. And Shane McMahon is just Shane McMahon. He can mess with all the SmackDown babyface superstars he wants. Have him go at Mustafa Ali or Roman Reigns or Finn Balor. But after leading to SummerSlam, I don't mind. And he does need to pick up the win, so I'm going to go with The Miz to beat Shane McMahon.
Remember what I said, though, about 50-50 booking. When you want it, you don't get it, and when you get it, you don't want it. This might be a case of you want it, but you don't get it, but you never know. You might actually get what you want. Matt, who do you think's going to win?
Well, as you said, this is kind of 50-50 booking, as we have seen with, kind of what this feud. Well, WWE is known for the 50-50 booking. And, well, the Miz attacking Shane McMahon this week on SmackDown was, well, kind of awesome in some way. Seeing him as a face is, well, I don't know how to put it. His heel work was so much better than his face work. We all know that. And well, but still, this feud is kind of fresh. But at the same time, it's not, because well, it's one of the oldest feuds at the moment. As well, I think The Miz needs a pay-per-view victory, and well, I think he's going to pick it up on Sunday.
Interesting. As for me, yeah, I'm gonna go with The Miz here. Even though, like I said, we probably won't get the win, but I don't know. You never know. Anyways, but yeah, I'll go ahead and go with Miz, just because, like I said, 50-50 booking and shit. Our next match is Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship. So, on the April 16th episode of SmackDown, New Day members Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods were guests on the KO show, where Kevin Owens congratulated Kingston for winning the WWE Championship by defeating Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 35. With fellow New Day member Big E out with injury, Owens wanted to join the New Day as their third member. So Kingston and Woods accepted Big O as an honorary member, and the three won a 6-man tag team match later that night, players. Anyways, the following week, after Rusev attacked Kingston during his match with Shinsuke Nakamura, a brawl broke out, also involving Woods and Owens. Owens then turned on Kingston and attacked him and Woods, proclaiming that he wanted the WWE Championship. Kingston then challenged Owens to a match at Money in the Bank with his title on the line, and Owens accepted. So yeah, this was an interesting kind of build-up here, having Kevin Owens be an honorary member of the New Day only to go turn on them, because apparently they wanted to have Daniel Bryan rematch. Yeah, no more automatic rematches, my ass. But Daniel Bryan was temporarily out with an injury. Thankfully, he's back. Unfortunately, trapped on the pre-show. But yeah, still, this feud has had some decent build-up here, and is kind of a little break for, like, little different sort of stuff, like first real main feud Kofi's got as champion ever since winning the belts in Mania. So far, I think he's been doing a pretty decent job as champion as well, and he's had some pretty good title defenses on TV, but here, he's got his first one on pay-per-view, and they're both pretty good workers, him and Kevin Owens, and I definitely think this should be a pretty good match, much like the WrestleMania 35 match that we had. Heaty, who do you think's gonna win?
First and foremost, I'm so happy they've strayed from I think it was a nearly month-long celebration of Kofi's title victory at WrestleMania. I mean, for at least 2 weeks at least, they kept harking on about a great victory over Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. I mean, sure. And it was a Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30-esque moment, but they really sort of milked that moment for what it was worth before we really got into the seriousness of the feud, which we can purely see now after Owens turned on Kingston. Kofi as champion, I'm not ready to see him lose a title yet. I'd like to see him hold on to SummerSlam, to be honest. I think he's a good promo. He's a great in-ring worker. He can gel and work with a lot of the main roster, main event guys. He can turn any match into something you know that is must see. Who do I want to win? Well, I want Kofi to retain. Who do I think will win? I think Kofi's going to retain because I don't think they put the title on Kevin Owens so soon after that WrestleMania moment. So Becky is not clear to compete. He just came out of surgery a week or two ago, I believe. So maybe an interference from him costs Owens, maybe something like that. I think after this, maybe a Kofi Reigns feud will be interesting to see, and yeah, the possibilities are a bit more endless I'm leaning towards the Kofi retention. So yeah, I think Kofi Kingston's gonna keep his WWE title.
Interesting. And Matt, who do you think's gonna win?
This is a feel-good moment for Kofi. Winning the title at WrestleMania. Kevin Owens returning and forming New Day 2.0 for a few hours or a few days was kinda fun and new and innovative in some aspects. Then letting him turn on the New Day was kinda fun at the same time. But for the match, it is built up well. Having Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens beat up the New Day, or Kofi Kingston at this week's SmackDown, was a great way to hype up the match and maybe have a possibility and have Sami Zayn turn face, or if he wins the Money in the Bank briefcase and cash it in on Kevin Owens if he wins, or cash it in on Kofi Kingston and have that as a possibility for the future. Or he can play a finish in the match somehow. But for the match, I think Kofi Kingston is going over simply because it's his first defense, and the feel good moment still lives on in some form.
Yeah, I see. As for me, I definitely think it's way too early to take the title off Kofi. I mean, he's riding with the momentum pretty well, I definitely think they're doing a good job with him as champion. And yeah, I think Kofi is going to win here. I mean, maybe KO will have another chance at some point, but yeah, I think they need to keep the ball going with Kofi well, because they're booking him well and strong. So yeah, Kofi Kingston to win. Our next match is a WrestleMania rematch. Oh, come on! Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship. Well, at least with the Miz and Shane rematch, and I guess technically Becky Charlotte match, it's a little different. I mean, at least the Miz Shane match, we have like a steel cage match at least, so it's kind of a little bit different. Here, not so much. It's just the same wrestlers in a plain old championship match. And in WrestleMania 35, Samoa Joe defeated Rey Mysterio in 1 minute to retain the United States Championship. Kind of a letdown, but whatever. Both were then drafted to Raw in the Superstar Shakeup. And Mysterio defeated Joe in a non-title rematch on the April 29th episode of Raw. And so the following week, another title match between the two was scheduled for Money in the Bank. It's kind of a little disappointing because I want to go back to, again, what the arena was originally advertising, or what they were originally advertising for the U.S. Championship match. Because, well, originally, the thing that we were advertising was Samoa Joe versus Thuganomics Cena. That would have been awesome to see. Unfortunately, we're not getting that. And probably because John Cena is so busy as hell, like The Rock these days with Hollywood, that he's going to have less and less time for WWE. And pretty soon, he could retire sooner or later, but that's another topic for another time. Maybe this match will maybe make up for the fact that the WrestleMania 35 match was short, because, I mean, that card was pretty damn long. And I didn't go to bed till well before midnight that night that Mania happened. Like, it was so long here, and some time had to be cut for certain matches. So here we have at least less on the card. It's not as big, so maybe this match will make up for the WrestleMania match. That's probably the most positive I can think of out of this. Heaty, who do you think's gonna win?
I was going to say, first of all, if this does not lead to Joe versus Dominic at SummerSlam, I will be devastated. Yeah, WrestleMania. I like what they did. I did like what they did on the match. There was a lot of time constraints. There was about 15 matches, I believe, on that card, pre-show included.
I think it's more like 16.
Yeah, so any match we're going to go with a minute, it will be this. Joe's, an imposing, dominating figure, and Rey Mysterio is, the plucky underdog, and to have Joe just basically field a shutout performance, taking him by the neck and choking him out within the first minute, it does send a good statement of intent that Joe has a stronghold, a death grip on that US title, and he does not intend to let it go anytime soon. And I think he should retain again. I mean, I think we need some fresh blood into the US title scene. I like that Rey Mysterio has a shot at WrestleMania, but I do think there's people like Andrade, maybe even Randy Orton can have another go at it. There's a lot of fresh matches, and just a lot of fresh matches with the title involved that I think would get me off my seat a bit more. Be a great match that goes longer than WrestleMania, I hope. But here's the thing: you cannot get squashed at WrestleMania and beat the dominant champ. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. It's weird booking from WWE. I think that if they want to go with a logical sense, and they want to go with a sense that builds to the future and builds up a credible heel, so maybe he loses at SummerSlam, or if you want to take up to a Survivor Series, if they want a logical explanation, a logical victory, and you're gonna have to go with Samoa Joe to retain. That's my pick.
I see. And Matt, who do you think's gonna win?
I think Samoa Joe is gonna win because, well, he's, as Heath just said, he's an imposing figure, and well, Rey is, well, the underdog. But Rey has, well, he has beaten big guys before, Seeing his WrestleMania moments, well, with him winning the World Heavyweight title from Kurt Angle and Randy Orton, and in that triple threat was kind of amazing. But seeing him being squashed at this year's WrestleMania was kind of sad, in my opinion. But well, they had their reasons, WWE, because well, of the time constraints, and well, Joe is well, he defeated R-Truth of all people for the title. So well, not the best champion, but well, an all right champion in my opinion. But well, Samoa Joe has been pushed hard. Well, pushed and pushed. Losing to Roman Reigns and losing to Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. Yeah, all of that shit has, well, put a hold on his push. I think he should be a main event player, to be honest. He should have the World Heavyweight title and not have a mid-card title around his waist. But, well, he has to do something, so, well, if that's what he has to do to, well, have a championship, then do that.
You said, so who are you saying to win? Joe?
Joe, yeah.
Yeah, alright, yeah. As for me, I could see that they're definitely making Joe a strong champion at least. Like, they're booking him actually strong now. I hate, because better late than never, I guess. And I have a feeling they're going to want to give him a good title reign to make up for the fact that he really, unfortunately, has not like held a title on the main roster up till this U.S. Championship here, to the U.S. Championship. Like, it's still an early reign still, and it's clear they want to make him have a dominant reign. And I do think this match won't be a complete squash, much like the WrestleMania match was, but ultimately, I think Rey is unfortunately going to come up short, and Joe's going to win. And who knows, if Joe versus Dominic actually happens, oh boy, that would be something. And for our final match, oh hey, we get to talk about the Cruiserweights again. Yay! Except for the fact that none of us have been keeping up with 205 Live all that well. Damn it! Oh, whatever. Like I said, we got Tony, or I haven't said this yet, but whatever. Tony Nese versus Ariya Daivari for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. So, at WrestleMania 35 on the pre-show, Tony Nese defeated then champion Buddy Murphy to win the belt. And thank God, too, actually, because we needed someone new in the title picture, and here we go. We got Tony Nese. And on the April 23rd episode of 205 Live, Ariya Daivari defeated Oney Lorcan, and then General Manager Drake Maverick then scheduled Tony Nese to defend the WWE Cruiserweight Championship against Daivari at Money in the Bank. So yeah, I don't have much to go off here, not just because there's not much description here on the Wikipedia page, but because, like I said, none of us have really been keeping up with 205 Live that much. I did, of course, see Nese's victory at Mania 35, at least. Like, of course, like, I saw that at least, and it was a good match, and I definitely think at least Nese has the potential to become another good champion as well on the belt. And yeah, or he's probably doing a decent job so far at least. And this match should definitely be good. Heaty, who do you think's gonna win?
Okay, so I'll give you some context. It is exam season around my time, and to be honest, I have to admit, much to the detriment of my downtime, I do watch Monday Night Raw every night. I could be revising, I could be doing something else, I could be hanging out with friends, but now I watch a lackluster Monday Night Raw, and I watch the average to okay SmackDown. I do not, however, watch 205 Live that often, if at all. But what I can gather from is that Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy was a well and intricately thought out feud heading into WrestleMania. The gist was that they were best friends, and Tony Nese grew out of his shadow, and then at WrestleMania they put on a pretty good match. Tony Nese beat the running Nese on the pre-show to pick up the Cruiserweight title. You mentioned that Ariya Daivari beat Oney Lorcan, and that adds credence to my theory that Arya Daivari is a relentless heel that will not stop until he is a cruiserweight champion. There's probably more to this, but this is what I can gather from what I've looked into it. But to have Tony Nese beat Buddy Murphy, such a dominant champion in the last few months, you can tell that 205 Live has put a lot of stock into Tony Nese's name, and that they want him to be a credible, good babyface champion. So I think that starts and ends at Money in the Bank. I think that starts at Money in the Bank, and it goes on for quite a few months, so that Jack Gallagher or Humberto Carrillo can come along, knock Buddy Murphy off his perch, or he's the next challengers. He's a good challenger. He is a formidable foe. Title yet? I think it does make a credible feud, but it's just I don't think he's a man to take the title of Nese. Just has this knack for people don't really watch it, but when they do watch it on a pay-per-view, it knocks their socks off. It blows the fans out of the water, and yet we still make the mistake of not tuning in because we're not smart enough to. We stick with Raw and SmackDown, where 205 Live and NXT is where the money's at. I think I'm gonna, over the next weekend, tune into get a gist of all the storyline so I can get a firmer grasp on what's happening. But from what I can see, Arya Daivari, no offense to him, I think he's a stepping stone right now. I think Tony Nese needs to build up his title vein, build his repertoire as a top champion in 205 Live, and for that reason, I'm going to go with Tony Nese to win.
I see. And Matt, who do you think's going to win?
I think Nese is going to win. Fuck. It's just fast. A title offense. Arya Daivari is not really a credible challenger in my opinion, but I don't tune into 205 Live. I don't watch it at all really. So I don't know what he's doing on 205 Live. I don't know if he's being pushed or anything like that. I don't know what to say about this match, to be honest. I'm not really interested in it, except for, the good in-ring action that's, promised with this match. So, yeah.
I see. As for me, I might as well just say Tony Nese as well. I mean, he's practically still has an early enough reign going on, and if you notice with these Cruiserweight champs here, they're giving them pretty, actually good, decent length title reigns, I mean, you look at Cedric Alexander's reign of about 181 days, and then he lost it to Buddy Murphy at a Super Showdown. And then you look at Murphy's reign, it lasted 183 days. And now Nese has it, who's only had it for... Tony Nese has had it for about 38 days, so... I think we could probably expect this reign to still go on for a good while, So... I'll say Tony Nese. And that is Money in the Bank. I mean, this should still be at least an entertaining enough show. And we've got some good matches to look forward to. Even if there are some problems and some of these things that I think some of us would probably book differently. Us in the Discord chat and us those who are watching. Maybe we would, or maybe you wouldn't. I don't know, really. What I do know is I hope that this show is still pretty good at least, and that the winners of the Money in the Bank ladder matches do get decent pushes at least. At least those who need it. I mean, given the last couple years, we kind of need to fix things up a little bit. Anyways, I want to thank both Evie and Matt for being here. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
See you. Hope to see some of you guys on Monday.
And on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next predictions video. Until then, bye for now.